Hey, what's up, guys? So this is actually my second time recording this. For some reason, when I initially recorded it, the video and my voice was off, and I just thought it just looked nasty. So, anyways, yeah, Darron Brown here. I'm your instructor from GeekMODE School of React Native, and in this video, we're going to tackle the breaking records algorithm. So this is basically how it works. I'm assuming you guys already read through this. If not, check out the link in the description. You can follow along. But anyways, what we're doing is that we're going to iterate through our array. We're getting an array back of scores, and we're going to iterate through each score and see if how many times our score is broken and how many times we hit our lowest score. So by default, our highest value is always the first index in the array. So right now our highest value is 10, and we only break the record. We break our record twice in this array. The next number after 10 that's greater than 10 is 20, and then it's 25, which is why we get the output of 2 for our highest value. And as far as our lowest value is 5. And then we break our lowest value record 4 times. We go from 10 to 5, which is 1, and then from 5 to 4, which is 2, from 4 to 2, which is 3, and from 2 to 1, which is 4. And that's what we're printing out for. So I want you guys to go ahead and just copy the algorithm right here and return to your IDE. Like I said, I've already completed this, and for whatever reason, it just came out wonky. So it is what it is. So anyways, as always, if you catch me looking back and forth, that's because I've completed this problem and I'm using it as a reference. So just bear with me. So anyways, let's go ahead and start creating our variables. We have a variable titled the high value, which we're going to set equal to scores, index of 0, and let our low value, we're going to set this equal to scores with the index of 0 as well. Because by default, our low and our high is always on the first index. And then we're going to create another variable titled high value count, which is 0. And we're going to create another variable titled low value count. Set that equal to 0 as well. We're going to create a value array. And now we're going to loop through our scores array and to check basically our scores and see how many times we hit our lowest and our highest. Okay, so now let's add our for loop. Let I equal 0. If our index is less than scores dot length, then we're going to increment our index. All right. So if scores index of 1 is less than scores index of I plus 1. Now this is where we actually check if our highest score is broken. So if our first index, which you already know is that the highest value is in our first index. So if the first index is less than the second index, that means that our highest score has actually been broken. So if high value is less than scores index, we know that our highest value is now equal to our scores index, and we're going to increment our high value count. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just console log this so we can get an idea of what our high value actually is and what the count is as well. Hey, what's up guys? Darron Brown here. I just wanted to remind you, at the end of this video, make sure you check out the website www.geekmode.tech. There you can learn more about React Native, Firebase, and Redux. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you check out our free course as well. I'm sure you enjoy it. Now, that's enough of me, and I'll let you guys get back to the video. Remember, I already completed this, and for whatever reason, it didn't render right. So as you can see, our high value, which starts off as 10, is broken twice. The high 10 is broken after it hits 20, and then 25, 20 is broken once we hit 25. And our count is now 2. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for our low value. So if our scores, so if scores index is greater than scores index plus 1, it means that we have a new lowest value. Lowest score broken. So if our low value is greater than our scores index plus 1, that means that we have a new value score. So new value is equal to scores and we're going to increment our low value count. Okay? So just like we did for our high value, we're going to console log our lowest values. Low value count. Once we run that, so our low value count is actually 4, and we do that. We know that because we go from 10 to 5, which is 1, from 4 to 5, from 5 to 4, which is 2, from 4 to 2, which is 3, and from 2 to 1, which is 4. So based off of all these calculations, we should be returning back 2 as our highest value count and 4 as our highest value count. So making sure that everything's aligned correctly. We're going to push to our values array. We're going to push our highest value count. And then we're going to push to our values array our low value count. And we're going to return our values. Okay, so hopefully there are no issues. You guys will copy this code and return to HackerRank. In HackerRank, we're going to run this, run our code, and everything's passing. And let's run it one more time. Submit our code. We pass all our tests. Awesome. That's what we were expecting to happen. Sucks I had to record it twice, but hey, it is what it is. And once again, guys, I made this series because I want to give people who are new to not only mobile development, but just development in general, an idea how to think through algorithms. Because one thing that I see on YouTube from a lot of React Native developers is that they teach you how to use some of the core components of React Native, but they don't teach you how to make a React Native application dynamic. You know, how to use data, how to manipulate data, and how to basically make it functional. How to create functions that, you know, trigger some kind of action, and then it makes your application just sing. You know, so yeah, that's why I put this together, and I plan on putting together a few more projects in the future that actually shows that, so you guys can continue to learn. And if anybody, also with this series, if any guys, they want to try out any kind of algorithms, I don't care if it's easy or if it's difficult, you want to be featured on the show, just contact me, and then I'm more than welcome to share the spotlight. You guys can speak about whatever algorithm you tackled, and then show everybody how you actually completed it. Anyways, that's enough talking, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.